Whether kids are learning remotely for 2 weeks or the next year, they need a positive and comfortable place to do work in their home. And there are certain things you can add to the homework station for maximum flow and productivity. Here to give us some tips is in Feng Shui is expert Ashley Cantey. Ashley, I've been looking forward to talking to you. We're all looking for those Feng Shui kind of tips and tricks. Why is it so important for kids to do their work outside the bedroom? What should the space actually look like?
Well, the first thing, I see a lot of people putting their kids in the bedroom, locking them in there for the day, but the bedroom is really a place where you want your kids to go to relax, to fall asleep. You do not want their brains stimulated when they're going in their bedroom. So it's best to keep their schoolwork outside of the bedroom, or if you can't do that, then create a separate space within the bedroom. But I don't know about you, but for me, if you put me at a desk all day, I will go crazy. Not every kid is meant to sit at a desk, while they do their schoolwork, actually.
Yeah, I think that goes for adults too, and I certainly learned that during the pandemic. I cannot be chained to a desk all day. So Ashley, talk about the sounds and smells that help enhance a workspace.
Obviously, the best thing to do is place the child by a window. You just did a segment on windows. Open the window, let the fresh air in, let them hear the birds chirping or the sound of nature. Binaural beats is always great for focus, or classical music. It helps with focus. If your kid is someone who's anxious, maybe binaural beats or spa music. And then if you have a child who has trouble maintaining focus, peppermint would be really great to diffuse. If your kid's someone who's anxious, then I suggest lavender or frankincense.
Hi, I love the use of essential oils. That's something I didn't think of in a kid's space. So what kind of artwork or imagery would you recommend hanging in this space?
Okay, so nature is always a good idea. So anytime you could bring it in, whether it's a soothing picture of the ocean or snowfall or anything that inspires your kids, like trees or birds or animals, and then inspiring colors, places that your child loves. Use your child as a cue, what their personality is, what would make them excited to, be in that space.
You mentioned the outdoor nature component is important to the setup. How do you add that?
So definitely by opening the windows, plants are always a good idea. Plants or flowers. I know a lot of people say like, oh, they kill plants, but it's just a matter of finding the right plant for your space. And kids like flowers too. You can never go wrong with earthy colors, whether that's the paint or pillows, or a throw blanket. And then if your kid's younger, nature collections like feathers or pine cones, anything you could bring in that's natural materials in nature is really good for stress and anxiety and inspiration.
Any big no's or red flags for an at-home workspace?
Oh man, if you put a kid in front of a blank wall, they're gonna go crazy. So definitely put them near a window, put them where they're in charge of their space, so they can see who's coming and going. Empower them to design a space that inspires them. A big no-no is if the kid hates sitting at the desk or hates learning where they're learning. And then I would say if you have no nature, for sure, you've got to bring nature in.
What should parents encourage their kids to do through the day to have better energy, especially because they're not in school and they are at home?
Yeah, I feel bad because parents are stressed out. Kids are hating sitting and learning. So throughout the day, if you can get them to pause and breathe, this goes for adults too. Take moments out of your day to breathe. You could find an app, and there's breath work for anxiety, breath work to get you invigorated. Step outside in the fresh air, let the sun hit your face, let the wind hit your face. Dance, play one favorite song of your kids and tell them to have a dance party in the middle of the day, or they could pet their dog. It's just so important to take breaks and do things that inspire you.
Actually, we've obviously seen the growth of workspace at home during the pandemic. Any trends that you've noticed in the last year or so?
Trends, I see a lot of people doing up, like I said earlier, office spaces, and I just want to say, like I said, not everyone is meant to sit in an office away from people. If you know human design, everyone can find their human design. Some people feel more inspired around other people, so you could place yourself in the center of your family or in the center, or you could work outside. Not everyone is meant to be in an office, and I think that's the trend. People are creating these office spaces doesn't necessarily mean it's serving who they are.
Great tips there. Feng Shui expert Ashley Cantey. Ashley, thanks so much for your time today.